Alright guys, this is going to be my July TBR, but it's also kind of a channel update and also a different type of TBR, and what that means is I like making book review videos. I know not everyone likes to watch them, but I also find it hard to keep on top of reviewing all the books that I'm enjoying like right after I read them. So what I've decided I'm going to try, we'll see how this goes, but I'm going to try and do each month is, with my TBRs, talk about the books I want to review in the upcoming month, so a to be reviewed sort of portion of my TBR. So I have 4 things that really I wanted to have more in-depth thoughts on my channel, and so starting with the Dreamblood Duology by N.K. Jemisin. So that has The Killing Moon and The Shadowed Sun. I don't own The Shadowed Sun yet, but I've read both of them. Oh, it's a really, really quality duology, and I want to get all my thoughts on, and I want to convince you all to pick up this fantastic fantasy series. And I also want to talk about Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. So this is a relatively polarizing book in terms of how people feel the execution of certain themes and ideas have been executed. So I definitely want to get my thoughts out there on that, especially since one of my followers on Twitter really wanted it. So I'm going to put a review out for that one. I'm also going to review Catfishing on CatNet. I really, really liked this story, and unlike some stories where it's just like, oh, I had a great time, what am I going to say besides this was great? I really do have some thoughts on some of the things that were just integrated so well into this story, just the gender representation, the commentary on our education systems. I don't know if it'll be a long review, but I want to give it a review because more people need to read this book. It is quite wonderful in so many ways. And then also one I just read very, very quick recently is Pet by Akwaeke Emezi. This is a young adult story about a young girl who lives in a place called Lucille, where in theory all the monsters are gone. It's just a lot. I just had this really wonderful book discussion on it. I'll put a link to the book club and book discussions below, but it's the, I can't remember the name right now, but I'll put it on the screen. I'll have it down below, but Chloe from Thistle and Verse, who I will also put her channel down below, ran the discussion, and it was just so well done, because this story is not only just so easy to consume, especially through the audiobook, but it's beautiful, it's lyrical, it has so many good themes to unpack. We spent 2 hours talking about this book, so I for sure can put some thoughts together for a review, and if you haven't heard about this wonderful story, you're going to. So look out for that. In the next month, I'm going to have those reviews out. I don't know if they'll all be bonus videos or sometimes they're part of my normal upload schedule, but this is a goal I have for myself. I want to see how it works, because I don't know. I liked looking at all the things I read in June, and I was just like, I really want to have more elaborate thoughts on these things. All right, so that's one thing. Another housekeeping thing. So I've been doing the Read the Olympics readathon hosted by Kayla from Cracking Into a Good Book, and there's still time. It doesn't end till July 19th, so if you want in, go check it out. I'll put a link to her thing down below. But I have so far gotten 20 gold medals for my country of Venezuela. It is wonderful. I don't know how many more I'll get, because some of the sports have some obscure prompts that I don't know until I read my books if they will cover them. Noria also has a readathon happening in July. I will link that below. It's called the Fuckathon. It's really great. The premise is we're just saying no to a whole bunch of these nonsense ideas by reading a book that goes against it. It's really fun. Until I read my books, I don't know how many of my books fit those prompts, but I have some that I'm picking out for this month that will purposefully kind of work. We shall see. There is a bingo card, and I am hoping to get a pretty big F on the bingo card, but gentrification's hard, and that's one of the prompts, and I don't know if I'll have that till I've read the books. But I think it might be, but I don't want to say that until I've read the books, because I don't want you to think that, because this is my TBR. I have not read them yet. So here are just the books that are on my priority list for July that I'm using for both the Read the Olympics readathon and for Noria's readathon. And yeah, I really don't know what prompts they're going to work for, but I'm excited to read all of these. And some of them you might have heard before, because my TBR has been insane lately. So this month I'm trying to get back to a more structured TBR. Take a break from mood reading for a second and just be like, okay, here are 10 books I really want to get to. All right, so starting with Midnight Robber by Nalo Hopkinson. This is going to be my first one by her, and I am so excited. I've heard amazing things. It's Njeri's favorite author. We just had an interview with her, which I'm sure will be on Njeri's channel soon, if it's not already. And I just need to read this book. A bunch of us are actually doing like a little casual book club for it. So I guess if you're interested and are planning to read this book, let me know. But I'm so excited. That's really all I got. I also then have Dark and Deepest Red by Anna Marie McLemore. They have released this book in the last couple months. I really don't know a lot about it. It seems to have to do with dancing and cursed shoes. And really though, I've just been wanting to read more Latinx authors. And this is one that comes pretty highly recommended. I'm actually kind of excited because I think this is kind of a slower burn young adult. People seem to say it's very character driven. And I don't mind that, and I'm excited to go into it with that expectation and see what I get. Okay, so the next one was definitely on last month's TBR, and that's The Way of Kings. I just haven't started it yet, and I just need to. I'm excited to. I had so many other amazing books that I've just been reading, so I need to do that for the Storm Along, because those live show discussions are so fun, and I don't know, I just want to have more like of those nitpicky things everyone's talking about in those live show discussions. This sci-fi one I'm super excited for. This is Ninefox Gambit by Yoon Lee. I don't know much. I think it might be more like military sci-fi, but I hear it's complicated and confusing, and I've been wanting that lately, and I've been wanting to read Yoon Lee's works, so I'm excited. That's where that's at. And then I recently got this arc of Mexican Gothic from a Goodreads giveaway, and I really want to read it, and maybe a bunch of other people will be reading it soon. I have no clue, but it's a gorgeous cover, and I want to get to it and see what I like. It's also Gothic horror, which I've never read that genre before, so that would be fun. The next one I have that's a recommendation from a subscriber when I was like, give me a Pacific Rim book, is Steel Frame by Andrew Skinner. I am excited for this book. I have no expectations. I mean, I'm hoping there's really good relationship work, that there's fun sci-fi elements. We will see. So for my local book club, we're reading The Other Americans by Leila Lalami. And yeah, like most book club books, I don't really know what it's about. It seems to be a lot like, potentially like Disappearing Earth, which we read last month, where we're going to have a lot of different point of views, and we're going to really have the community as more of a character, which I like stories like that. So we will see what this contemporary has in store for me. I'm not positive I'll get to this month, but I really want to so I can prepare for the August book club, is The Thing Around Your Neck by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is a short story collection, and we're going to try and focus on a few for the book club discussion. So I'd like to read it ahead of time so we can tell people what stories, but I might end up reading that in early August before the book club, but I'd like to get to it this month. There's also, I think you're noticing a theme here, there's also a book club for the book Malice, which I've been meaning to get to. So this is by John Gwynne. This is the first in the Faithful and the Fallen series. So yeah, I want to see what the fuss is about. Almost all my friends have really enjoyed it so far, so we shall see. So one book I do know that works for Noria's Readathon is White Fragility. Pretty sure this works for F White Supremacy. So I'm going to read that. I read White Rage a couple weeks ago. So this is the other one. And I know the Blackout Buddy reads over, but just because I hadn't read them before the live show doesn't mean I still don't want to continue my education. So I'm going to be reading that one. And then the last one I have on my list is Jade City by Fonda Lee, because I'm excited. This book's gotten like unanimously amazing reviews, and I just want to see if I'll like it. I mean, here's why I'm excited. Based off the synopsis I've been told and that I read, it doesn't actually really interest me. But those are usually the books I end up loving a lot, and I also think it is a setting I'm not used to, and I am all about being outside of my comfort zones with my reads these days. So yeah, that is my tentative plans for July. That doesn't include any audiobooks I'll pick up, because audiobooks are how I mood read. I finish one and I'm like, well, what's available at the library? What do I have on hold? I never know. So we'll see what audiobooks I get to, and I'm sure other things will be sprinkled in, but I just wanted to really have like things I could prioritize and feasibly get done. We'll see. This might still be long because I started work again, and I still don't know how that's gonna mess with my reading and filming. But yeah, these are the goals. What are your goals for July? Are you doing any book clubs or readathons? I would love to hear it in the comments, and if you just want me to know you're here, why don't you post an emoji of a sunflower? That would be nice. I don't know. It's kind of random, but I do know sometimes people, making comments is a lot of work. Other than that, like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.